Hello everybody, and welcome to the Dakman Studios here in the basement of my home. So, I am so happy to say I am doing this 14,000 subscriber celebration video. I would have never thought in a million years I would get to 14,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, but here I am. Especially for a channel that, just primarily focuses on model trains mostly and dabbles a little bit into trucks. I just can't believe that I'm at 14,000 subscribers, and I thank everybody very much for subscribing to my channel and watching the content and the exciting world of model railroading. So typically most of my watch time and view time is during the fall to the early spring because I'm doing all these shows. And then when summertime gets here, the views and the subscriptions to my channel normally fall right off. And don't take that as a complaint. I'm not complaining about that, because I do understand that people, do summer vacations and stuff like that. So it's usually something normal for my channel. It's always got the most views and the most subscribers during the fall, winter, springtime. Summertime it falls off. It's just a normal cycle. So I didn't want you guys to think that I'm complaining about that, which I'm not. So there is a specific reason why I mentioned that. Because this TCA 70th anniversary convention has been coming up for quite some time in the last couple of years. So the plan was to cover this convention when it came to Lancaster. And so I made plans for it and announced that I was going. I had viewers ask me if I was going to go to the all the TCA trips that they had going on during the convention, because this convention was a week long. They had all these trips planned that you could choose and pay for to go, but I decided not to follow the entire TCA convention schedule and decided to let's put together a Dakman 1 week vacation bonanza instead, because most of those trips that the TCA put on in Lancaster, I can do that at any point in time. So I decided to make my own schedule. So I took a week-long vacation, and I kicked off my vacation by going to the Antique Truck Show in Macungie, Pennsylvania. That's one of my favorite shows to go to. Antique trucks. I'm not talking about pickup trucks. I'm talking about big rigs. So like the old Brockway trucks and Kenworth and Peterbilts and stuff like that. Always enjoyed that show, so I make sure to go there and shoot video of the parade field and also the parade coming out. So if old trucks are your interest, please look me up in the playlist. I have a playlist called Trucks with Dakman. Anyway, so my next stop after that was the Conrail Museum. And that was my first time going there, and so I decided to hit the Conrail Museum and visit there. And I submitted a couple pictures out there on Facebook and Instagram, and I instantly got hit with comments. Hey, when are we going to be able to see this video? We want to see this video. When's this video coming out about this Conrail Museum? Never have I seen so much excitement from the viewers wanting to see this video. And it was so cool to see that you guys were wanting to see this. Now, normally and typically I always try to put a video out the day after the event that I have attended. In this case, I could not do that because I was on a 1 week vacation. I was away from home, so everything was being put out a week later. So people were like, yeah, when's this? And again, I'm not complaining. I'm glad you guys were writing me and typing me and messaging me and saying, hey, we're excited to see this video. When's it coming out? And, you know, I would reply, you know, it's coming out this date at this time. And, you know, but everything I was doing for that 1 week was a week later instead of being put out the next day. So after the Conrail Museum, I came back home, spent 2 days getting stuff together for my next outing, which was the TCA convention. Went there Wednesday, but in the meantime I put together some videos. So the Conrail and the truck videos were coming out while I was going to the TCA convention. And then went to the TCA convention and was, as you guys seen, I was the actual TCA convention official videographer. So I covered that show. And again, when I got home, you guys, I'm not a person that puts stuff out there online about myself. But when I got home, just so you guys know, I fell sick. I got the flu, a really bad flu when I got home. So I was not able to put out a TCA convention videos until later in the week. It was a week later before you guys started seeing them. But Sunday, I spent the entire Sunday in bed, sick as a dog from the flu, sneezing, coughing. I was so congested I could barely breathe. It was bad. My mom felt as though I should have went to a doctor or hospital, but I didn't, and rebound on my own remedies and stuff. But at any rate, so that's the reason why those videos were out so late. And it took a long time to recover. I don't know what I got, but it took a week before I got through or whatever I call it. But the one thing I can say about that 1 week's worth of vacation is that my channel did the best it ever has in the whole entire history of summertime videos, ever. I just could not believe the numbers I was seeing. You know, because like I said, usually during the summertime, my views drop off, my subscriptions drop off. But once those videos started popping out, I just could not believe the numbers I was seeing. I was like, oh my God, it's wow. They were getting a lot of views, especially that Conrail Museum video did really well. And the views were up through the roof. I gotta tell you, the most subscriptions I ever got in the 28-day period was 170. You guys blew that out of the water, record-wise. It shot up to 230 subscriptions in 28 days because of that 1 week video. The views were crazy. The amount of watch time went through the roof. I was like, I'm just happy that you guys enjoyed my 1 week of vacation because I took you guys with me. Basically, it's how I look at it. You know, I took you guys on that 1 week vacation with me, and I'm so happy and glad that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It shows, and I'll even go as far as to say those views and numbers and subscribers for that 1 week and that 28-day period is better than anything I got when I was active during the winter time of 2023 going to shows. One of my YouTube friends says, hey, you should take a 1 week vacation every month. I said, well, you know, that would be cool, but I don't think my job would like that too much. You know, plus I would have to plan events or places that would, I think, maybe get them kind of views. I had a great time at the TCA 70th anniversary convention. That was cool. Thank Matt over at the Earth and Valley High Railers for making me an honorary member and have me run with the club members. It's so much fun. They're a great group. Also, would like to thank Jeff Potter, Doug, Daryl, and the rest of the crew over there at the DC area High Railers. They've actually invited me to run with them at the model train days at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, which is right across the street from the Strasburg Railroad. So I actually got to run on their club layout with my Brady's Trains custom run locomotives. Got invited by Joe and the crew over there at the Central Operating Lines O-Gauge Club in Long Island. So again, I got to run my Brady's Trains custom run locomotives there in Long Island. So yeah, they've been around, and I don't want to forget, you know, as well as Harry Henning. He has the Run for Fun event, so they get to run there on his layout on the old train farm. So these locomotives are great locomotives to run. So why do I like running these locomotives so much? Well, it's easy. It's because they got Bluetooth. It was the very first set of locomotives I had with Bluetooth. And for the longest time, the only set of locomotives I have with Bluetooth. And why is that important? Because I can go to any club layout, and it doesn't matter if they have a legacy or TNT system or even just conventional transformers. I can take those Brady's Trains Lionel locomotives, put them on the track, and even if they have just a transformer, just give me 18 volts, I can open up my phone app to the Lion Chief app and run my trains through controls. I don't need any of them clubs to have a system, or do I need to borrow any of their controllers. And it makes it really easy. And the one thing that highly impressed me with the Lionel Bluetooth is how dependable it really is. There is very little interference. With the 990 remote and the TNCC controller, or even the Cab 1L, the problem is you got to send a signal from your remote to the track, and then the locomotive picks up the signal from the track with an antenna. There's just too many points in time where it can lose connection. Now, when you're in your own home, in a basement or on a single floor, yeah, it will run very, very dependable. But if you're out and about like me and you get involved with clubs, you're going to see a lot of bugs and flaws. That's where the flaws come in. Because you got buildings with different roofs, types of roofs, and metal buildings, and there's a lot of interference with the Wi-Fi system. There's just a lot of interference that could interrupt your signal to get to your locomotive, and a lot of clubs struggle with that. With me, I haven't had that struggle yet, and even Matt from the Raritan Valley High Railers, we discussed this a couple of times, saying maybe we should just go all Bluetooth. It seems to run very well. I'm like, yeah, I don't lose any connection, because the Bluetooth goes from the app and it talks to the Bluetooth chip in the locomotive. That's the only connection it needs to make, and it's direct. So, it's a great system, and I really like it, and I really highly recommend that. If you're going to run single locomotives, then Bluetooth is the way to go. There are downfalls to the Bluetooth. The one thing I don't like about it, the number one thing, and I think Lionel needs to work on this, is the Bluetooth should have been set up so you could have multiple lash-ups. In other words, I should be able to connect 1, 2, 3, or 4 locomotives together and using Bluetooth. And Bluetooth does not have that capability on the Lionel system. And I think that's their biggest downfall. If they had done that, it would be a perfect system. Now, they can't say it can't be done because Lionel did come out with the Western Maryland, I believe it's called the Fireball set, locomotives. You get a powered and a super base. Those will lash up together using Bluetooth. So it can be done. I do own 3 layouts. Conahay Rail, high rail layout. Conahay Central, which is my traditional O-gauge layout, and it's all MPC. And as you guys are aware by now, that I have started an HO layout in 2023 that I call Conahay Southern, and it focuses on modern day CSX. One thing I wanted to mention is I am in a partnership program with Trains with a Z. So look them up. I'll give you the coupon here. And the coupon is good for a one-time use only for $10 off of your purchase using code Dakman. So if you, and that helps me out with the channel. I would highly recommend that if you want to use the coupon, since it's one-time use, grab multiple items. And I think, you may find it may pay for the shipping for the most part. Speaking of helping out the channel, I am my own worst PR person. I don't usually promote myself. That's why Stu Rankins does it for me when I interview him, and I appreciate that. I don't want to come off pushy, which is why I don't do that. If you want to subscribe to my channel, thank you. If you don't, that's fine too. At least you're watching. That's how I feel. But there is one thing I would like to ask you guys. So, I do have a Dakman Productions store, apparel store. So I do have a Dakman apparel store where you can find shirts like this one and other shirt designs. It does help me out as well if you guys do consider buying them. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because my channel, even though I'm at 14,000 views, I'm still not where I like to be as far as money coming in, because I want to expand on something here. And I generally don't tell you guys my plans or get you involved, but I think it's time that I do so you understand what I'm trying to do. So my channel focuses on, again, my channel focuses on promoting the hobby shops, and the train shows. I do not charge for this, and some people say, well, maybe you should start charging. No, absolutely not. I don't want to do that. I want to do it with views. So if it's not for you guys, the views and the watch time is what helps me pay and offset these costs. It's very, very expensive with gas, tolls. And so if I don't get a certain amount of views, then my revenue falls off. And if it falls off too far, then I can't afford to go to that show. That's just reality. I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours. I'm not retired. People ask me about all the time, are you retired? Absolutely not. I have a full-time job. Because of the economy, the way things are going, they cut down the overtime, so it bit into me a little bit because the overtime is now gone. So I really have to watch my budget more than ever. But what I'm trying to do is, the Great Scale Train Show is a very big show. It's at the point where I cannot get everything done in one day at this show. It's just impossible. So now I got to pick and choose. Do I do O-gauge or do I do HO? What I like to do, my ultimate goal, is to have a hotel stay overnight. And that has to be doable in my budget. What I would do is I would do maybe O-gauge on Saturday and do HO on Sunday. put the videos together and start putting them out the next week. The last thing I want to do is have to bring a sponsor on board. That's one thing that kind of cringes me when I go out on YouTube and I'm looking at this video and all of a sudden they stop like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes into the video. Hold on, a word from my sponsor. And then they're talking about, try this VPN service. You know, if you want private VPN, check out this company. And it's like, really? You know, you're going to stop this video and 10 minutes into your own video to promote this company? So would you like, if I was 10 minutes into my video and I said, hold on everybody, now a word from my company that I started. Not for Sean jelly beans. If you like jelly beans, they're just not for Easter. It's a sweet treat. Watch this commercial. Not for Sean's jelly beans. All for you and none for him.
Ooh, a piece of candy!
All for us and none for him.
Not Sean's jelly beans. My guilty pleasure.
Not Sean's jelly beans. All for you and none for him, when they're too good to share.
Please note, Not Sean's Jelly Beans is not a real product, not available for sale or for purchase. And whatever you do, please, don't give Sean any jelly beans.
And if you buy a bag of Not for Sean's jelly beans, I'll throw a second one in for half price. And of course, that's all not for real. But would you guys buy into that? I don't think so. I think you guys would turn off to my videos that I put out. And that's not something I want to do. But, you know, there's a funny story behind that commercial that you guys just watched. So when I was heavy into G-Scale, there was a show during Easter time. And it was on a Friday, Good Friday. And there was a club running, and there was one of the guys that I know, he was grabbing jelly beans out of this jelly bean car and eating them. I walk over there, and I'm like, oh, I like jelly beans. And he's like, so do I. And he walks away. I'm like, what? You're not going to offer me any? He literally just did that? So after that, I would harass him here and there. I was like, yo, I said, you were eating these jelly beans and you didn't offer me any when I asked about them? He goes, oh, they weren't mine. I'm like, they weren't yours, but you were eating them. He goes, yeah, I was eating them, but they weren't mine. They weren't mine to give away. They're not yours, but you're still eating them. And I'm like, but what about this jelly bean card? He goes, that wasn't mine either. He said it belonged to somebody else. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the jury's going to be out on that. But so we had a little humorous banter with that over the years. I think it was like not this year, but last year he was selling some trains at a train show. And he had a bowl of jelly beans with a sign in it, not for Sean. And I took pictures of myself eating them anyway. And there was a video of me grabbing them, eating them. So that's where the idea of Not for Sean jelly beans came from. And it actually progressed into him buying a jelly bean car and having special custom graphics put on it saying Not for Sean's jelly beans for this specific purpose of, you know, this banter that we have going on. And, you know, and the funny part about it is, you know, the craziest thing that's going through my mind is that the name is so dumb that it probably would be a company that would take off pretty well. Not for Sean's jelly beans. All for you, none for him. It's just not a sweet treat for Easter anymore. Could that actually be a entrepreneur, multi-million-dollar company? I don't know. You never know in this insane world that we live in. But anyway, I just wanted to share that story. So lastly, the one thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick. I know I kept you long enough, but please, if you can hang in there. One thing personally you probably may not have known about me And I don't usually open up personal to, on video that much. But you may have noticed it on your own. So I was diagnosed with a speech impairment when I was a kid. It was not found until later in life as a kid. So I believe it was like sixth or seventh grade. They finally discovered I had a speech impairment, and there's a couple different types of it. There's stuttering, but in my case, the way my tongue and throat and all that stuff is, there's certain words that I have a difficult time saying. So you may have seen that over the years where I struggle saying certain words. And, because of that, I was, the quiet kid, sat in the back, because when I talked, it wasn't quite right. And unfortunately, it made me look like I was dumb, and I was not. I got good grades in school. I was always an A and B student. When I'm at a show, you'll notice I'm the quiet one in the crowd. I let everybody else talk because it takes so much energy for me to talk to you guys. And why I don't usually hit certain syllables and certain words on target. Or may talk off a little bit. And I just wanted to mention that and be open about it. So one of the people that inspired me to talk on camera, even though I have this issue with talking, is an actor called James Earl Jones. And he was a perfect inspiration. So I used to watch Conan the Barbarian and Conan movies when I was a kid. But I didn't know until years later. Now, James Earl Jones played in those, and he was the evil prince or the evil leader. And Arnold Schwarzenegger had to fight off all these people to get to him, to kill him. But I watched these movies and never knew that James Earl Jones also had a speech impairment, but his was for stuttering. And I'm like, well, if a Hollywood actor can have this issue and put himself on camera, and then, I shouldn't be afraid to put myself on there either, even though people may, have different opinions about the way I talk and pronounce things. But at this point in life, it is what it is. But I just wanted to share that story with you. So today we're going to go ahead and do a run. So I'm going to run my Brady's trains. On the inside loop, I'm going to run a grain train. And I hope you guys stick with me. It's been a great run on Dakman Productions. Enjoy this run. And thank you again for being fans of the Dakman Productions YouTube channel. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. We'll catch you guys trackside. Goodbye.